Meiosis has two main purposes. It reduces the number of chromosomes in half, making the daughter cells haploid, and it is where most of the genetic recombination occurs. In prophase 1, the DNA coils tightly and individual chromosomes are formed. Homologous chromosomes come together in synapsis and exchange segments by crossing over. In metaphase 1, the membrane has disappeared, and the microtubules form a spindle. The spindles orient themselves on opposite poles of the cell. Spindle fibers attach to the center of each of the chromosomes.
In anaphase 1, the spindle fibers shorten and pull the chromosomes toward the poles. Each pole ends up with one haploid set of chromosomes consisting of one member from each homologous pair.
During telophase 1, a nuclear membrane begins to form around each of the daughter nuclei. In each daughter nucleus, there are two sister chromatids for each chromosome. In prophase 2, the nuclear membrane breaks down in each of the nuclei, and new spindles are formed on opposite poles. In metaphase 2, spindle fibers bind to both sides of the center of each sister chromosomes. During anaphase 2, the spindle fibers begin to contract and pull the sister chromosomes toward each of the poles. And finally, in telophase 2, nuclear envelopes reform around each of the daughter chromosomes. At this point, the process has completed and a single-sex cell has just been transformed into 4 new ones, which are all ready to form a sperm or egg.
The main purpose of mitosis is for growth, repair, or reproduction of cells. Cells produce an exact copy of themselves during mitosis. An example of mitosis can be found in skin cells. If you cut yourself, cells will produce new skin and tissue cells by replicating themselves through mitosis.
There are 6 phases of mitosis. The first one, interphase, is when the cell is engaged in metabolic activity and performing its prepare for the rest of mitosis. Prophase is next, and is where chromatin in the nucleus begin to condense and becomes visible in the light microscope as chromosomes. The nucleus disappears. In metaphase, spindle fibers align the chromosomes along the middle of the cell nucleus. This is so that when anaphase occurs, each nucleus is ensured one copy of each chromosome. During anaphase, the spindles contract, and the spindle fibers attached to the paired chromosomes separate them, and pull them to opposite sides of the cell.
In telophase, chromatids arrive at opposite poles of cell, and new membranes form around the daughter nuclei. The chromosomes disperse, and are no longer visible under the light microscope.
The final stage, cytokinesis, results when a fiber ring, composed of a protein called actin, around the center of the cell contracts, pinching the cell into 2 daughter cells, each with 1 nucleus.
We have now completed mitosis, and are left with 2 identical daughter cells.
Differences of mitosis and meiosis include the following. Meiosis produces 4 haploid daughter cells which are genetically different, and mitosis produces 2 diploid cells which are identical. Meiosis is a sexual reproduction and mitosis is asexual. And meiosis produces sex cells, like eggs and sperm, while mitosis produces everything but sex cells.